Hi everyone, welcome to Jaja Draws. So it's February, the season where everyone runs around talking about love. Don't get me wrong, I do actually like love. I like all forms of love. I like platonic love. I like familial love. I like romantic love. I think love is great. I think we need more love. I'm happy to sing that song about what the world needs now. Like, love is great, okay? I'm not trying to be a Grinch about love. But I am about to be a Grinch about Valentine's Day. I can't stand Valentine's Day. I'm sorry if it's your favorite holiday, sorry if you really enjoy it, but look, my experience of Valentine's Day has been one of four things. There is, on the rare occasion, a couple or a throuple or a quadruple, like I don't care how you structure your relationships, but there is, on occasion, a set of people whose romantic expectations for Valentine's Day line up completely. I say this exists because I'm sure it does happen, not because I've ever actually witnessed it in real life. I have two friends who come pretty close. But yeah. Anyway, there's that. Those people are golden. Those people are set. They are in a relationship, and the relationship that they're in, all the people are on the same page regarding what should happen on Valentine's Day. Yay for those people. We're not going to talk about them anymore because they already have a pretty sweet life. Let's talk about the 95% of the rest of the population. If you're in a relationship, you're frequently in one of two situations. Either you are the person with massive romantic expectations for Valentine's Day and you really want it to be romantic, and you really want it to be sweet, and you really want it to be loving, and you really want to celebrate your love, and your partner just isn't on the same page that you're on, and you're gonna be disappointed. Now, sometimes you're gonna be disappointed because you wanted them to rent out a hot air balloon and take you on a picnic on a mountaintop, and they're dead broke, so instead they took you for a really nice homemade dinner, in which case you need to lower your expectations. But in general, I think if we're not talking about super materialistic people who base their expectations on things far outside the realm of reality, there are still lots of people who would like their partner to remember Valentine's Day and do some sweet or romantic gesture on that day, and it doesn't happen, and then they're just disappointed and unhappy, and it creates stress and tension for that person. Also, you can be the other person in that relationship. You can be a person who thinks Valentine's Day is nonsense. You want to be able to do romantic gestures on the spur of the moment. You don't like being pinned down to a holiday. You just feel really pressured and unhappy about the whole thing. And you kind of know that the culture expects you to go with it. So you try to do something, but it inevitably falls short because it's not really your thing that you like to do, planning this sorts of thing. And then you have to live with the knowledge that your partner is disappointed and doesn't like this thing that you've done when you tried to make them happy. And then that's stressful for you. So, there are those people who are on the same page, but in general, you got a lot of people who are either disappointed and stressed and unhappy, or you've got people who've got expectations being placed on them who are stressed and unhappy. And then, my friends, there are the single people. Shout out to my single homies. I'm one of you. I really hope you're all as happy with yourselves and, are as okay with getting to stretch out and sleep sideways in the bed as I am, because I gotta be real. It would take a lot. I would have to love someone a lot to be willing to share my bed with them again. because there's nothing so glorious as sleeping all night long without anyone bothering you by snoring or rolling over or anything else. And if you think that's just sour grapes because I'm single, you've never tried it. It's amazing. So anyway, there are single people who maybe are happy most of the time, but as every single television show they watch has a romance episode. Every single store they walk into is draped in red and pink bunting. Every single commercial they, for whatever reason, can't fast forward through is about diamonds or chocolate or Hallmark cards. They could be perfectly 100% happy with their single life the rest of the year, and it's still going to sting a little bit on Valentine's Day because we make such a big deal about romantic love on Valentine's Day. So, it's Valentine's Day weekend, and obviously I was going to cover it somehow, but I did really want to cover it in a way that felt authentic to who I am and what I think about love. So today, I've got this drawing. Now, first of all, if you're watching and it looks vaguely familiar, I'm going to go ahead and admit that I was watching The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina while I drew this, and yes, that aesthetic made its way into what I was drawing, and yes, when I realized that aesthetic was making its way in, I just went with it. So I leaned hard into The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and we're just all going to be okay with that, all right? So anyway, when I started drawing this, I really wanted to portray what is a reality for me. I think it may be a reality for a lot of people, but I'm not so narcissistic as to claim that what I think is necessarily true for everyone. I love being in love. For all that I'm a little bah humbug about Valentine's Day, actual love I truly enjoy. I love every kind of love. And I really just, I revel in being in love when it happens to me. I distinguish being in love from having a partner. I by no means think that they're necessarily separate. I think lots of people who are in love with the person who is their life partner. But there is a partnership that you engage in, and you make life plans, and you batten the hatches and weather the storms, and you take steps together, and that's beautiful. And I think in terms of long-term human commitment, I think partnerships are pretty much the only kind that weather the storm, because if you base everything around those giddy, fluttery, happy feelings, then when you go through rough times, you don't have anything left. So I believe in partnerships profoundly. And I know that people are in love with their partners a lot of the time. And I think that's a wonderful and beautiful thing too. But I don't think the converse is true. I don't think that most people who are in love then necessarily treat the person that they love as a partner. And I think that's because, we fall in love all the time, and it's not necessarily reciprocated. And if it is reciprocated, it doesn't necessarily last to the point where you're going to be making life plans together. Like, love is a separate thing from partnership. And Hollywood tends to treat A as though it necessarily leads to B, but I don't think it does. And I think we'd probably be a lot happier with love if we stopped putting so much pressure on it. If we stopped putting so many expectations on it, that the fact that being with you makes me giddy on the inside doesn't necessarily mean that we have to talk about buying a house together. Like, maybe that's not where we're going, and that's okay. That's not a problem. So what I wanted to portray in this drawing was the reality that I feel, which is that a lot of what we love about love is more or less internal. We need an object of our love. We need someone to love. We need a person to help spark those feelings. And, ideally we spark similar feelings in them, and everybody enjoys that, and it's great. But at the end of the day, those emotions that we have, those butterflies and the daydreams that we engage in, and the joy that we feel when we think about that person or when we are getting ready to go see them, those are generated solely in our own minds. And I'm not saying that to say, it's not real, because everything is in our own minds. But I am saying it because I think we might all be doing ourselves a favor if we could learn to feel that joy and that connection and that giddiness and accept it for what it is without having to have another person in the picture. Feel free to go ahead and hate me if you are madly in love with yourself and want me to die now. But okay, look. Think of it like this. It's really, really great to experience the pinnacle of sexual desire with another person, right? Like, that's really fun. It's an experience, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and it's good. And I am not knocking that, and I enjoy it as much as the next person. But you can also do that on your own. And not only is that good for you, it can also be therapeutic, and it can also be stress relieving, and it can also make you happy and help you sleep. I'm just saying, what if we could do that emotionally? What if we had the ability to satisfy ourselves emotionally, which doesn't mean that we don't want someone else to also satisfy us emotionally. It just means we could love ourselves, and we could be happy with ourselves, and we could be giddy about pampering ourselves and spending time with ourselves and buying chocolates for ourselves, which, yes, I did. There's chocolate waiting for me and my children, because I love them too, for Sunday. Because, everyone made fun of Emma Watson when she talked about self-partnering, but I think she's on to something. I think your most lasting relationship of your life is with yourself. And you need to be able to enjoy that relationship and not be waiting around for someone else to spark the excitement or the adventure that maybe you feel when you're in love, but maybe you can also feel when you give yourself permission to dream about who you can be all on your own. So I drew this, and instead of drawing an image where there were people in love, I drew a person in love. She's standing there alone, and she's loving something. Maybe she's loving a new experience she's about to have. Maybe she's loving the way she looks in those super awesome plaid pants that I'm so proud of myself for drawing. Maybe she loves another person. I don't know. I don't want to restrict her and be like, you can't love another person, but I'm just saying, let's open it up a little bit more. Let's not sit around and wait for someone else to make us feel valid and special on Valentine's Day. Let's not insist that someone else be the object of our butterflies. Let's grab our own butterflies and say, you know what? I can enjoy myself and my own company. And then if someone else wants to come along for that ride, great. And if they don't, that's okay too. Because I'm happy with me and I love myself. So, for Valentine's Day, I hope you're all happy. I hope you're with the people you love. But most importantly, since I know you're with you, I hope you love yourself. Bye, guys. See you later.